If you are measuring your content by traffic, impressions, engagement, or follower growth, and your revenue still isn't moving, this episode is going to make you uncomfortable. Not because those numbers are fake, but because they are real numbers measuring the wrong thing for you. So by the end of this episode, you would have a completely different definition of what a great content is and what it should be doing for you, and why the metrics your team is currently using is costing you deals, and what that one metric is that tells you whether your content is helping you bring the actual results or not. Let's get into it. I have been saying this a lot recently. I see most SaaS companies have inherited the definition of what great content is from different industries. And they did not know that the industries, which is the broader content marketing industry, they inherited their KPIs from, was built around media companies. Yes, I mean the publishers types of businesses, the blogs and the newsletters, whose entry business models depends on the attention that they get. You get the eyeballs, the more ad revenue, the engagements and the sponsorship. That is what those businesses are built for. For those kind of businesses, the right metric for them to track is actually engagement and awareness and content views, because those metrics are directly connected to what their revenue is. They are the metrics that brings in the revenue, the business for them. But then you forget that you are not a media company, you are a SaaS company. And your revenue doesn't necessarily come from the number of people who view your posts or number of people who engage on your content. It comes from the closed deals that you are getting. And the matrix that is telling a media company whether their content is working should not be the same metric telling you whether your own content is working or not. So when you borrow a media company's scorecard, content scorecard, and you are applying it to your own SaaS business, what you are doing is that you are making your content team optimize for the wrong outcome. They are creating content, but they are creating it for the wrong outcome. And then you find out that when a post you make gets 50,000 impressions, everybody is celebrating it. And then when a post you make gets 200 impressions, for instance, everybody in the team is mourning. And then no one is asking, did either of these posts we made, the one that brought 50,000 impressions and the one that brought 200 impressions, did any of them actually help us move closer to our sales goals? Did any of the leads that did not convert go through any of our content and decide not to convert? Or did the ones that converted go through our content and decide to convert? No one is asking that question because the outcome that your content should be focusing on has not been what it should be focusing on. You adopted the KPIs and the benchmark of the media companies and you fed it to your content team and they have been running with it. So when you look at this thing, it is not a content team problem. It is not. It is a leadership problem. You did not tell them what you are measuring or what they are measuring against. You did not give them a practical thing that they should be looking at. And then you find out that your content team is far more disconnected from what your sales team is trying to accomplish. Now, I'm going to give you a definition of what a great content does for a SaaS company. Three definitions. Or rather, let me say it this way. I'm going to tell you three things that a great content does for a SaaS business. First thing first, it brings you the right people. It brings the right people into your world who don't know what this world of yours look like. And it is not just any kind of person that it brings in, the right people who has the problem that you are solving and has the budget to pay for the solution that you are creating and is also actively looking for an answer to their problem. This is one of the first things that your content, a great content, should be doing for you in your SaaS business and not just chasing awareness. The second thing is that it moves somebody who already is aware of your product closer to making a purchase without requiring an extra hand or without having to get your sales rep to do that work manually. Your content should be handling the skepticism and addressing the comparisons and also be explaining the process of your business and also be building trust for you in the mind of your prospects even before they get on the very first call ever with your testing. And when you look at this, many SaaS businesses who are publishing content, their content is not doing this. And it is a very big problem, a big one at that. Number three thing that, or the top thing your content should be doing for it to be a great content is that it makes your sales conversations shorter and it makes it more likely to close your lead faster by pre-handling every single objections that they would have brought to the calls they are having with your sales team. If your content is doing this, you find out that before the lead arrives to your sales calls, they already understand your positioning, where you stand in the market. They already understand the way you are solving that problem, the uniqueness of your solution, and they have seen that you have gotten some proof around the solution you created. And they also see that some of the objections that have come up for them in their mind, your content has indirectly answered those objections for them. See, when your content begins to do this kind of a thing, it is no longer just a content. It has become sales enablement. And it would drastically reduce the length of days it takes for your sales team to convert a lead into an actual client. This is what you should be aiming for with your content. Beyond the metrics, beyond the views, beyond the engagements, beyond the number of followers that it is bringing for you. If your content is doing the first job that I mentioned inconsistently, and then the second and the third, it is not doing it at all, you don't have a content quantity problem or even a content quality problem. What you have is that you have a content direction problem. Your content does not have a direction. You are just treating your content as a piece that should just go out there. Let it not look like you don't have a social presence. That is what you're treating your content as, just to fill in that gap for social presence. It means your content doesn't have a direction. And that is not the best way to approach content creation for your business as a sales founder or even as a SaaS marketing leader. Okay, I'm going to tell you the number that tells you whether your content is actually doing its job for you or not. And this is the close rate between the leads who consumed your content before becoming clients and the leads that did not consume your content before they became clients. Now, if you check that number, let's take, for instance, the leads who consumed your content before they became clients, the close rate of those leads are 40%. And the close rate of the leads that did not consume your content before they became clients is 20%. You will see that the difference between those two numbers, when you multiply that that number, whatever number it gives you, I mean the difference between those two numbers, and you multiply it across your entire leads or prospects, both the ones that you lost and the ones that you gained, you will see that there is a gap you are not filling, and it is costing you a lot. So it is the number that will tell your sales team and your leadership, and even your investors, if you have any, whether your content is working or just a piece that is sitting on your social media handles or on your blog just for sitting sake. Another thing that I've discovered here is that many of the SaaS companies that are not tracking these numbers is because it is not built in the attribution system. So when your content is being measured, you're measuring it on vanity metrics by default based on what the media industries have given you. And it is not because actually that you as a leader want the vanity metrics, but because it is the one that is very easy for the entire team to pull out. And what I've seen is that the companies that view this kind of measurement, they're actually the ones who are treating content as a revenue function, like something that contributes to their entire sales goal and to their entire revenue goal, than instead of just a marketing thing that should happen. And the very moment you have this shift in belief with the way your content should be working for you, you would see that everything about your content, how it is being produced, how it is being distributed, and how it is being evaluated will change automatically. So the question for you is, are you going to do it? Are you going to adopt it? Or you're just going to continue with measuring the vanity metrics you're measuring all this while and allow your prospects to keep sliding away and to keep going to your competitors because nobody ever addressed the thing that they are looking for? By the way, I have put together a one-page framework for you that would show you exactly how to set up this measurement inside your existing sales process. You actually don't need any complex attribution software or dashboard. You don't need that. This is completely free. It is a one pager and I've prepared it for you. What you need to do is just to put in the numbers and make the calculations. It is very simple. You just don't have to overthink it. If you want to get this, I'll put it for you in the show notes. Like I said, this is completely free. Now, here is what happens inside your business the moment you change what great content means. Number one thing, your content team stops chasing topics that gets them views, and they will start pulling content topics and ideas from the sales objections they are getting from the sales team. Number two, they will stop writing for the algorithm. You know, this trend of write it the way that the algorithm would make it get to plenty people. I feel like that is one of the most foolish advice that you would ever hear in marketing. Write it for the algorithm goals. I mean, are you targeting the algorithm or you are targeting people, right? So when you understand this, your content team will stop writing for an algorithm and they will start writing for a specific skeptical prospect that is at a particular point in their buying journey. And again, number three, they will stop measuring their success in impressions and they will start measuring it in the objections that no longer come up on calls. And one beautiful thing that this would also do for your sales team is that your sales team will no longer ignore content because they feel like marketing does not understand this. And they will start requesting for those contents to help them both pre-handle objections and to also help them get the leads to act faster. One beautiful thing this will do for you on the side of your prospect is that your content will begin to sound like them. They would actually feel like you are talking to them and they would feel like, oh, this person understands me. These guys really know what I'm passing through. And I feel this in the inside of me that I should trust them. They are the ones that I should work with on this particular case. And then you find out again that that loop that is always there between the content team or the marketing team and the sales team will be closed. Because at that point, every single person on your team has one thing that they are pursuing, has one thing that they want to accomplish. Not the marketing team is doing a different thing, system is doing a different thing. And when you try to pull the two of them together, there will always be a problem because they don't understand themselves. But when these things have been reframed, the content team or the marketing team now feels safe being in meetings that the sales team have. And the sales team also feel confident being in meeting that the marketing team are having because they are going there to tell them what is coming up for them on calls. This is what I want you to do in your next marketing meeting. I wanted to ask your content team a question. Now, the essence of this question is not for you to make them feel bad, no, but for you to actually use it as a way of finding the direction that your content has been going. Ask them which piece of content we've produced in the last 90 days, 30 days, 60 days that has made the most measurable impact on our close rate. And then sit back and watch what happens. If they can answer that question with a specific piece of content or specific number of contents that have been able to solve that problem, you already have a content team that is operating with the right benchmark. But if they are not able to do that and they pivot to telling you it is traffic numbers, it is engagement stats, or follower growth, your content team is operating with the wrong benchmark. And it is not because they are bad at their jobs. No, it is because nobody ever pointed them in the right direction. Nobody ever told them the right thing to track. And when you look deeply at it, it is not actually the content team problem, but the leadership problem. So you find out that the conversation that would follow after that one would help your team know exactly the direction and where you are going to. Because it would force everyone in that room to agree on one thing. That is the question. Take it to your marketing team this week or next week and ask them that single question and see what comes up for you. If you have listened to this point and you're a SaaS founder or a marketing leader and you want to know whether your content team is operating with the right metric and KPIs, go ahead and book a 30 minutes call with me. And I will look at what your team is currently measuring and map it against your actual revenue goals and your metrics. And then I will show you exactly where your KPIs are off and what changes you can do to fix it. I'm not coming to pitch you anything until you have seen the gap clearly for yourself. So go ahead and book the call. The link is in the show notes. And that brings us to the end of today's episode on Beyond Content. Thank you for listening to this, and I remain your favorite, Judith Amarachi. See you in the next one. Bye for now.